Alright, mother suckers, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to fish the micro jig in San Diego Bay. And these techniques that I'm about to explain to you guys in this video might apply or might work, you know, over wherever you guys are. The Bay, Texas, New York, Maine. I don't know where you guys fish, wherever you guys are watching this from. But in this video, I will be explaining to you guys on how to fish the micro jigs that I've been fishing out here. You guys asked for it and you guys shall receive. So today, obviously focusing on micro jigs. And this is not your standard, you know, small micro plastics or swim baits or grubs or anything. This is going to be specifically those irons, those little tiny metal jigs that I've been throwing the past couple times I've been out here. And they range from 7 gram, 5 gram, 10 gram, 13 gram, 17, 18 gram, all the way up to 80 gram. So today I'm going to try and break down as many techniques as I can and show you guys how I work it out here and how I get my fish to stick. And hopefully the fish is out here to be caught and, you know, spice things up a little bit in this video. The rod of choice today is going to be the Major Craft Nanoace. This is 6'9" Finesse. The lure weight is 1/16 ounce all the way to 1/4 ounce. So throwing a 7 gram, 15 gram, and 10 gram is gonna be pretty good with this rod. It's a medium light, it's extra fast, 6'9", not too bad in the rocks, because that way if you want to swing hard or cast hard or anything like that, the shorter the rod, the less hang-ups you're gonna have in the rocks behind you. The reel I'm running is gonna be the Daiwa BG 2500 MQ. By far, one of my favorite lines of reel from Daiwa itself. It might sound biased because all I fish is Daiwa reels, but throughout all the years I've been fishing, I tried Abu Garcia, Shimano, Ardent. You know, I ended up fishing Daiwa all the way because I had issue with Shimano reels not lasting a long time here. Some of you guys might argue with me in the comments. I really don't care, but this is my experience. I've dealt with issues with Shimano reels, some Abu Garcia reels, obviously Ardent's freaking garbage. I tried Quantum, Lose. It's just I always go back to Daiwa. And one thing is that Daiwa reels, they're sexy. 2, yeah, they could be a little expensive. And 3, they have lasted me a long time. My oldest reel is the Daiwa Tatula Type R. I service that reel about 3-4 times a year and it still runs buttery smooth. I had that reel for 2013. Yeah, that's a long time. So it's just sitting at home on a shelf, you know. It's a family heirloom now. So the Daiwa Tatula Type R, the OG. All right, enough of that. I completely steered off subject here. Let's get back to it. So Daiwa BG 2500 MQ or Daiwa BG MQ 2500. The line I have on here is Daiwa J-Braid 15 pound X8. So the leader I have right here is the Seaguar red label 15 pound. And it's about 2.5 feet long. And what I have at the end tied off to it is an all-purpose snap clip. You guys ask me all the time about these all-purpose snap clips. I use them because it helps me switch baits out faster, more time in the water than on the water, and you have more time fishing than fiddling around tying knots, etc. I use clips mainly only in the bay. A lot of the fish out here, they're not line shy. They're not really that picky when it comes to, you know, the bait you use and how you got it rigged up. Because think about it, this is the bay. It's a survival of the fittest. Whatever they see in front of them, they're gonna eat it before any other fish get to it. It's not like freshwater where, you know, the bass knows they are, you know, the beast and the king of the pond and the lake. Out here, you got spotties fighting leopard sharks, bat rays, halibut, and so on, you know. It's the survival of the fittest out here. So yes, using a clip does not affect your bite ratio or whatnot. Sorry to pause right there, but don't you guys hate it when you're fishing right here, there's a whole damn bay, and there's a moron on a jet ski coming up here trying to flex, show off, destroy the water right in front of us, and it dips out and continues doing it down the bay. Don't you guys hate that? Because we freaking hate it. It's very disrespectful and whatever. You know what? Screw that guy. But back to it. Fish here in the bay, don't care if you use a clip or not. This clip is here for me or you as an angler to switch baits on the fly super fast and spend more time in the water. Now, let's get to the meaty greedy of this video. How to fish micro jigs. So many options to pick from. 15 gram, 7 gram, 10 gram, 20 gram. It don't matter. If you can get it, use it. So this is what's on the menu for the fish in the bay today. Breakfast, brunch, lunch, whatever. Top is the JigPara micros. These are all 15 grams, and the bottom is all the JigPara slow micros, or JigPara micro slows. All 15 grams, this is all I brought today. You guys probably know that I say this all the time, but it's good to have variety in your bag because it's good to switch things up, you know? But today, we are only going to be focusing on the top row. The bottom row, they're all micros too, but they're the micro slows. I'll do a video on these guys on another day. But today's focus is on the JigPara micros, 15 grams. Are you on? Yep. Nice. The bait of choice right now is going to be the 15 gram JigPara micro. This is the Livebait sardine, aka Iwashi. Clip it on like so. All-purpose snaps. Check it out. They make various sizes. Boom. Just like that. Sorry for the volume, guys. I'm gonna step over here. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm not wearing my GoPro on. Fingers crossed that we get something to stick. All right. First cast, soft cast. Always try to get the lines wet because sometimes it happened to me, especially with bait casters. If your line is dry and you go for that hardcore cast, you're either gonna snap off, break off, short cast, bird's nest, all the terrible stuff. All right, now that my line is wet, let's begin with our first retrieve. So with the micro jigs, you can work all columns of the water. Top column, middle column, bottom column, or all over the damn place. So what I like to start off with is the bottom column because I want to see what's down there. I want to see if there's going to be grass, structure, all that stuff down there. I want to make sure where I'm fishing is going to be good for me to work my bait. I don't want to get all snagged up and, you know, have a bad day. So my first thing is bottom. And I don't do the whole pendulum thing yet until later on. So I'll just let my line out. Take it to the bottom. Sometimes you might get picked up on a drop, which is pretty damn cool. Now that I'm at the bottom, I just do slow pops like that. I don't even think this is a pop. Slowly work it up like this. Just drag the bait at the bottom. That way, you know, you're investigating the bottom of your fishing area. You want to see what the condition is out there. About 30 yards out, 40 yards out, all the way to you. You want to see if there's grass, rocks, and all that stuff down there. Just like that, I'm already feeling some grass. Getting a little heavy. Sometimes you might get picked up by a bass. Sometimes you might get picked up by a halibut. Who knows? This is one way to work the bait at the bottom. Just slowly drag it. Bring down the slack, reel up the slack. Slowly drag it. Yeah, that's how I was catching bass over at Embarcadero last year. I would just cast out, let it hit the bottom, drag it at the bottom, and reel at the slack, drag it at the bottom. There's the grass right there. If I felt some grass, bring it up. Guarantee there's grass on it. Yep, see? Now that I know that there's grass about 15 yards out, let's change the retrieve. I'm still going to be fishing the bottom, but this time I'm going to do like a sporadic pop. Again, I'm not letting the bait pendulum in. I'm letting it go straight down. All right, now that it's at the bottom, just do two pops. You go flat. Every time. So, pop, reel, pop, reel, and let it drop. Pop, reel, pop, reel, let it drop. That's another way to work the bait at the bottom. Pop, reel, let it drop. Let's see if I get anything to stick on this retrieve. I like having a softer tip, that way when you're popping the bait, it gives the bait a more natural rise at the bottom rather than it darting all over the place. I mean, darting all over the place also works. We can do that next, but right now, see, two pop, reel up the slack. Pop, there's the grass. you start feeling grass, you don't even want to work your bait there anymore because you're running on trebles. Unless you have a J hook on or inline hook, you'll still get some grass, but not as bad as this. All right, let's try that again. But again, guys, if you're casting, don't always cast straight. Do a whole fan cast. Start at 10 o'clock, work your way to 1 o'clock. So, you know, explore with your cast. Figure out which way the tide's going. So in this video here today, we're fishing an incoming tide. So it's more ideal to cast towards the right while the current's pushing all the bait to the left. So with a lighter bait, with a more micro bait, the current will work the bait for you. So right when it hits the water and as it's sinking, it's going to be moving to the left. Gives it more of that natural, you know, presentation is what they would call it. All right, let's do the 2 pops, reel up slack. I'm gonna add a little bit of pop screen in there. Let's see what happens. Check my drag. So far I'm not really getting anything on that retrieve at the bottom. Let's try to work the middle column. So how you do that is you cast out right when it hits the water. Count how long it takes for it to get to the bottom. Then once you figure that part out, bring it back in, cast out, let it hit the water, and count half of that, and then engage and start reeling. So that took about 13 seconds given that the current is pulling to my left. So I'm gonna bring it in, and bringing it in, you might get bit because mackerel, barracuda likes to see an easy bait running away. So I'm gonna cast it out, let it sink for about 8 seconds, engage it, then start cranking. All right, right there. Start with a steady retrieve, rod tip straight on your chest. You can do it straight up, but I like it like this because I like to keep it even. Might get lucky and get a mackerel. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, that was a bite right there. Right there. On the steady retrieve, working the middle column. See? You just got to change up your, you know, your cast, your technique, whatever it is. Just got to change it up. And he ate the treble pretty good. All right, you guys seen it right there. First catch of the day. It's a mackerel, not a giant, but it's a fish. On the JigPara micro 15 gram. You guys saw that. I tried working the bottom. I tried 2 or 3 different retrieves. No luck. And sure enough, I switched up to a steady retrieve middle water column, and I got this guy. So you guys saw that firsthand. Middle water column, steady retrieve, that'll work. I'm gonna try it again and see if I can get another one to stick. Just gotta rotate different retrieves, different technique. Get that 7 to 8 second count right there. All right, and start the steady retrieve. All right, nothing on that retrieve. For the next retrieve, I'm gonna be working the upper water column. Let's see if anything's there. So pretty much, you just engage it and just start cranking right when it hits the water. Just engage it, start cranking. Because sometimes the mackerel, barracuda like to chase the bait near the surface. That's hensing, you see them blowing up here and there. So nothing yet. I see bait in the water, but no strike. Keep doing it. You know, navigating the upper water column. Hopefully something is there. All right, so the upper water column obviously didn't work. So I'm gonna try a different retrieve. It's gonna be about a 10-second sink, and I'm gonna give it crazy sporadic pops. get it out there, and I'll give it a good 10-second sink right here. Let it drop down. And I'm gonna act like a bait fish that just got, you know, T-boned by another fish and it's like limping all over the place. Easy meal, pretty much. So you can just work the bait like this the whole way in. Sporadic pops. This usually works when there's a whole school of mackerel nearby because you're making so much noise in the water, including so much flash, the color coming off of the bait, and it just attracts them. And once you get like 2 or 3 in the bite, it's just gonna be an all-out frenzy for mackerel out here. Maybe barracuda, who knows? So I tend to keep doing that maybe for about like 10 casts. All right, now that it's down, a couple crazy pops and let it flutter. Just had a bite, it's thick. Again, guys, remember just to cast around. Fan cast is what it's called. Start at 10 to 1, or 1 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Eventually, you'll figure it out, and I hope you guys catch something, and hopefully these techniques I'm showing you guys works, especially if you're going to be fishing micro jigs or micro irons, whatever you want to call it. All right, so for the next retrieve, I'm going to be working the bottom, but this time at the bottom, I'm gonna pendulum it in. So right when it hits the water, just like that, close your bail or engage your reel, whatever kind of reel you're using. So by doing that, your bait hits the water and it's in a pendulum towards you. If you leave the bail or your reel open, your bait caster open, and it hits the water, it just sinks straight down. Pendulum will cause the bait to swing towards you, which causes a different kind of reaction bite. Sometimes you might get picked up on the way in, or you're just swinging right into that halibut's mouth. You don't know. No, we don't know. It happened to me once. All right, so now I'm at the bottom. I'm just gonna sporadically pop at the bottom, hoping that something bites. So nothing on that retrieve. I'm gonna try casting at 1 o'clock and work with the current. Because if you work with the current or the drift, it really helps you get a bite because you want to go where the bait's going. My theory is that if the current's pulling this way, the big fish is going to be pointed this way. That way the water flow and the bait flow towards them. With the water flow going towards them, it's more oxygen. I don't know, I think that's how it works. But be careful when you guys pop too much, you're going to hang up on yourself. So if you pop it too much and you feel a lot of weight and no fight, you most likely hung up on yourself. And we don't like that. It happens. People complain about it all the time. But it's part of the game. You know, you got to figure out the retrieve. You got to figure out how to pop the bait without it getting tangled up or hung up on yourself. This goes for all baits. Jerk baits, top water, JigPara spins, crocodiles. They all get tangled up if you don't know what you're doing. Don't blame the bait. You ever thought about blaming yourself? All right, well, hopefully what I explained to you guys here will you know, help you guys out on the water, especially if you're trying to fish micro jigs. Make sure you have the right reel. It could be any reel really, just I don't recommend anything bigger than a 2500. I mean, you could do a 3000 or 4000 size. As for bait casting, a 100 size reel is perfectly fine to fish here in the bay. 300 is a little bit overkill, but if you're trying to gear towards micro jigs, try to go as light as possible, not trout light. Don't go ultra light. It's fun, I do it, but I think if you're not experienced in that part of fishing or in that realm of fishing, don't do it because you're gonna have a lot of heartbreaks. You might break your rod, break your line, running light line. I mean, it's very rewarding when you get them on light gear. But if you're trying to fish micro jigs like this, get like a medium light rod, 6'9" up to 7 foot, whatever you're comfortable with. Get whatever rod you're comfortable with. Just be sure to get a rod that can accommodate 15 grams, 7 grams, and anything lighter or a little bit heavier, up to ½ ounce. I mean, the translation for 7 gram is 1/4 ounce, 14 grams is half. So 15 grams is a little bit over half, but it's not too overkill. Everyone that thinks ½ ounce is huge, but look how small this bait is. It's about 2 inches. The weight is to help you get out there. I mean, small baits get bit, and that theory has been proven out here in San Diego Bay at least. Get what you can. get whatever rod and reel that can accommodate micro jigs. I recommend you guys to get out here and give it a try. It's very fun. And one big tip, guys, always have variety. Different colors, different size, different style of micro jigs. Like I said, have variety. I know a lot of people say color don't matter, color do matter. To me, it matters, given, you know, the situation, the conditions you're working with. And especially with macro, they don't give a damn if it's shiny, it's in front of their face, they're gonna eat it. Everything will bite it. I've caught many fish on it. I've caught angel shark, halibut, bat rays, macro, bonito, spotties, sandies, calicos, name it, they all bite it. You just gotta find them, throw the bait right into their face, and you know, hopefully they eat it. So different kind of retrieves. Work the bottom, bounce it off at the bottom, slow retrieve, do the sweep, work the middle column, steady retrieve, fast retrieve, slow retrieve. Just get out here with a micro jig, cast it out there, figure it out. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a major crab JigPara. It could be a mega bait, it could be a Damiki, it could be a dual, it could be any irons you can find, a Daiwa one, a $1 one. They all work. The techniques that I use in this video, you can use it with 20 grams, 30 grams. You can use it on your half day trips, your full days, all that stuff. It all works out there. So just get out there, give it a shot, give it a try, and narrow it down, figure it out, and get something to bite. But I hope this video helped you guys out. I hope my techniques will put you guys on some fish. I hope you guys take what I explained in this video, what I'm trying to teach you guys, into consideration and utilize it on the water. And you know, fingers crossed that you guys catch a trophy or something. Who knows? But I'm gonna close it out right there, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Wherever you're watching this, on the toilet, lunch break, dinner break, porta potty, hiding from your wives and kids. Again, thank you for tuning in. Everything I use in this video will be in the description below. Be sure to check that out. Rods, reels, lines, lures, water, everything. If you guys like these type of how-to videos, or however I'm doing it, drop a comment below, drop a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you did not enjoy it, thank you for watching anyways. Yeah, that's it, guys. As always, good fishing. Peace the hell out.